Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching Where with Sim again. Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's video, we got another threat of severe weather to talk about, and we also have some pretty miserable changes that will be happening across the Ohio Valley and even the Midwest. So we'll definitely have to watch these areas closely for this event, and we'll have to even watch back here on the East Coast too as well. There'll even be a major snowstorm and a windstorm coming, and that will be for tomorrow. And I did forget to pull the Windy app up again, but I will do that throughout the video. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the outlook for today. And then today we do have a marginal risk of severe weather and even a slight risk of severe weather across places like North Carolina, getting into northeast South Carolina. So we do definitely have to be on high alert. And if we look at the tornado threat, they actually did kind of increase the tornado threat across this area. So we do have to be on high alert for a few tornadoes. No upgrade to an enhanced risk is expected today, but we can definitely expect a couple of brief tornadoes if possible. But if we look at the hail threat, no hail threat at all, but the wind threat, we do have a wind threat across this area. So main concern will be a few tornadoes mixed with some pretty high winds across this area. So we'll definitely have to watch that area closely. And I don't think we have any more severe weather threats. And honestly, not even a thunderstorm threat either. So we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the radar now with the GFS model. And as we continue to take this forward, we're gonna go down here, and as we continue to take that forward, as you see, that snowstorm or the big line of storms will continue to move on to the east coast, and it will even form some snow on the back end of that. We got some pretty good agreement on the models that we will have a snowstorm across this area on the backside of that. For some reason, I kept thinking that this snowstorm was gonna move more into the Ohio Valley, but I guess not. But that was earlier when I kept thinking about that. But I can probably see those storms and snow do head out, and still it creates a big line of storms in the Atlantic Ocean. As we continue to take that forward, some storms possible across Amarillo, Texas, and that's where we did see that above average precipitation during the last outlook. But that outlook did change today or yesterday, so that's why we don't have it anymore. We got a different type of outlook by the Climate Prediction Center today, and as you can probably see, there is some snowfall that's possible across Amarillo, Texas, maybe a little bit west of it, but still, we are even seeing some storms for San Antonio, Texas, and then that will finally head out in the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico by Houston. As we continue to take that forward, maybe possibly a big storm moving through New England, and since it doesn't show very much snow during the storm, that might just mean our temperatures across this area will be pretty warm. Will be pretty warm across New England, and that might be why it's not showing any snowfall at all for New England nor the Mid-Atlantic. But as we continue to take that forward, now it starts to show some snowfall, and that will finally head out, and then it sounds like as we take us all the way to the end, it sounds like possible snowstorm for places like Kentucky. But if we can continue to take this forward again, sounds like we could see some rain and snowfall finally get back into Ohio Valley, but we'll have to keep watching. Now we're gonna go excuse me, guys, I'm a little bit congested, but if we take a look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, you do have above for a pretty big portion of the United States, including the Ohio Valley and upper Midwest, but down here in southern Texas, you are seeing below average temperatures. And what's crazy about this is that cold air would usually come down from Canada and in fact the northern United States. But how would cold air be able to just get these areas down here to the south, even though it just it's just warm down here. Like, that's just really interesting, isn't it? Because it's usually warm down here and it's cold up here, but how would cold air be able to just get all the way down here and just affect this area, and then the rest of the United States sees above average temperatures, even though it's not warm up here? It's pretty interesting, isn't it? But this is definitely caused by El Nino for sure, guys. So that's kind of why we see a completely different type of pattern like that. But if we look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, the chances for above average temperatures do increase across a lot of the United States, including the Ohio Valley. It sounds like down here to the south we'll definitely be seeing above average temperatures again after that slightly below average temperatures I just showed you for Texas. But we'll have to keep watching. But if we look at the 6 to 10 day outlook with the precipitation, and as you can probably see, well below average precipitation can be expected across the upper Ohio Valley gain into New England, including the Great Lakes region too as well. So definitely something to really keep an eye on. But it even extend all the way down here into places like northern Mississippi and even Tennessee. So I mean, we'll definitely need the rain so bad, and as you can probably see with the 8 to 14 day outlook, kind of the same story, seeing below average precipitation, if why not more slightly below average precipitation across the northern United States, but even the southeast, the Texas area, and even up here to the in California, we're definitely seeing a chance for above average precipitation. And since we are seeing that for California, we could be talking about some flood events across that area unfolding, but that will be most likely, I would probably say, around the end of December is when we really start seeing flooding across that area, but we'll have to keep watching and seeing about that. But if we look at our drought monitor, I did want to show you guys, let me go back to where it shows the entire map. And if we look at these droughts, we actually are seeing extreme and exceptional droughts still continuing for places like southern Tennessee, getting into Mississippi, even getting to Louisiana. And they did see several severe thunderstorm warnings yesterday. I do promise about that. They do see several severe thunderstorm warnings yesterday. And even over down here in the Texas and even New Mexico, still some exceptional droughts. And even up here in the Midwest, still exceptional and extreme droughts too as well. But if we look at the National Weather Service outlooks, we actually do still have a tornado watch in effect for Georgia, Alabama, and the Panhandle of Florida. There was actually no threat of severe weather in that area. At least there wasn't. Let's see. I mean, there wasn't a very big threat of severe weather, is probably what I should say. But I mean, that outlook from yesterday doesn't really, I don't think it really includes this area, but we'll still watch. But even up here into Wyoming, still some high wind watches and high wind warnings in effect. Looks like on the east coast, including the Cape Cod area, we do have some high wind watches and some high wind warnings in effect. But we'll definitely have to keep watching this. But even winter storm warnings in effect for New England, even an aerial flood watch in effect for New England, and even getting all the way down into Washington. But even up here into like Montana, Idaho, Washington, Northeast Oregon, all those winter weather advisories and even a couple of isolated winter storm warnings are in effect. But down here we are seeing some red flag warnings in effect for California, but even some like wind advisories in effect too as well for like Louisiana, even central New Mexico. So we do have quite a bit of alerts, but even wow. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying, I wish this winter weather environment would be more widespread, but it sounds like just 2 counties just seeing snowfall compared to the rest of the state. That's pretty, I would say that's pretty rare. It would usually be more widespread than that, but we'll have to keep watching. But, oh. Wow. Are you kidding me? I do want to show you guys that we actually do have tornado warnings in effect for Florida. And, oh, it says there's been an observed tornado. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me, guys? It says there has been an observed tornado down here in Florida, guys. That's gonna be bad. And if we look down here in Florida, this is in effect this goes for Southeast Holmes County in the Panhandle of Florida, Northeast Washington County in the Panhandle of Florida, and it's in effect till 6:15 a.m. So, and as you can see, a radar confirmed tornado, and it says hazard is damaging tornado. So, I mean, that is nuts, guys. It says it has been observed, guys. And to be honest, you guys can also look at Radar Omega. I don't really use that app, but Radar Omega really shows you guys the storms and how they really play out. But I mean, that's just nuts, guys. An observed tornado down here in Florida. I'm not really sure how bad this tornado is, but I'm guessing it's most likely an EF1 tornado. Hopefully it wasn't that significant, but we also did have some instability down here too as well, at least more of the instability, so that's really proposed a tornado threat down here. But we do have an observed tornado down here in the Panhandle of Florida. That's pretty significant, guys. That is pretty significant. So definitely start being on high alert down here in the Panhandle of Florida for a couple of more tornadoes possible. But if we start looking at the precipitation outlook, we do have a lot for the East Coast and even down here to the south, and then looks like the Ohio Valley, Midwest, and even a lot of the Rocky Mountains, and even up here into the plains. We are seeing barely any precipitation, to be honest, even all the way to the end of the radar too as well, or the end of the precipitation outlook, or as far as it can go. Either way is fine, but wow, just dry, and that's what I mean, and that's why I said in the end of the video that like we're gonna see like a drier than normal event for a lot of these areas, which could increase the drought probabilities, guys. And I mean, that's just weird. So, and I mean, that is typical with El Nino, but it just doesn't make me happy, okay? I want everyone to get water this winter and I mean, just keep surviving, but hopefully we don't have that issue across Indiana, Ohio, and even into the upper Midwest this winter. Hopefully the GFS model will change on some of those storms. But if we look at total snowfall, still on snowfall, he's showing literally none for these areas. So not even any single water is expected for any of these areas. Just way below average precipitation, guys. It's just nuts, guys. It's just nuts. And even up here in New England, in the mid-Atlantic, I've seen some pretty good snowfall, but even across Tennessee, Kentucky, and even getting into like the Panhandle, Texas, and moving up towards. But also, we actually aren't really seeing that much snowfall across the Rockies. They're actually are getting kind of a little break. You can probably see not really showing any feet of snow, barely showing any like for the mountains. So I mean, not really showing that much snowfall now, but definitely something to be aware about. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did have a great day. I am going to go ahead and check back on this tornado warning, and it says still observed. So nothing has changed yet, but definitely something to be aware about still. So I wish people did go live for that one. And to be honest, we weren't even expecting any observed tornado warnings. I was even surprised I was here for that one. So be on high alert if you do live in Florida, but thank you guys very much for watching, and I will do one tomorrow.